This is a rainy moment. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Being cozy together. Please enjoy a cup of rain together. We cannot wait to share this gift to all of us, written by Thầy Phap Ung. Compassionate business people, heal the world. This is a continuation of Thai's calligraphy. Happy teachers change the world. And compassionate business people include all of us, though we are not business people. Because the business people need the consumers, and we all are consumers. So we have quite an influence on the business people. So keep that in mind. Let's enjoy a three sounded bell, and today Brother Đức Niệm is our bell master. He will invite the bell from time to time for us to enjoy. Namo Saskamoni Buddhaya, dear respected Thai, dear beloved community. Today is the 5th of June 2019, and we are on the 4th day of business retreat, and we are in Up Hamlet in Stillwater Hall Meditation Hall. We have been together for 4 days, for 3 days. We have listened and shared to the 5 mindfulness trainings presentation last night in Lower Hamlet. And we have had also a panel sharing by our Dharma teachers, friends, about their experience, how to apply the practice of mindfulness in their work, in their environment. And we also had 2 wonderful Dharma talks shared by our 2 sisters, Hiến Nghiêm, Lăng Nghiêm. And we had a very inspiring Dharma talk by Phap Ung. Do I miss something? Yeah. I felt inspired by this retreat. I was touched by Sister Langim sharing about the possession of the now, the present moment, and also the koan, what has mindful breathing to do with business world. And I'm also wondering what have the Buddha and the Fourfold Community to do with the business world. As it has been recorded in the Sutra, the Buddha has given a teaching for the business people in his time. There was a very compassionate businessman, very influenced, and he helped elderly, lonely people, and people offer him a name, Kapko Dao, Anathapindika. Is it correct? And he felt inspired by the Buddha, the Buddha's career as a compassionate human being. And one time he took 500 business people to the Buddha, asking for the Buddha's teaching. And they received 2 main teachings. One is dwelling happily in the present moment. And the other one is the 5 mindfulness trainings. So we feel connected to the Buddha the original Sangha and the business people over there in that time. So we feel supported by the spirit of understanding and love, and we can offer a hand to continue this spirit of mutual support between spirituality and the business world. There was a beautiful friendship between Anathapindika, the businessman, and the elder monk Sariputra. You may like to look into the Sutra again. We have also listened how to touch the present moment, the now, and enjoy the now. And today we might like to continue that spirit, to explore. Thầy Phap Ung and the sisters have explored the first 8 exercises of mindful breathing, and today we continue together to investigate that. The 16 exercise on mindful breathing. Exercises. Can we have another pen? Can we read? Yeah? No. We will try the order. "16 exercises of mindful breathing." So we have the first 4. It's about our breath and our body. Yeah, and then we have the next 4 about our feelings relating to our suffering and happiness. And the next 4 yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12 counting. I'm not a business monk. Mental formations. Yeah. So there are quite a few of them, 49 or even more. And we have the last four. And today we might like to explore the last four as as foundation of our practice. So the 13th one is about contemplation or concentration on impermanence. And the 14th one is about contemplations on non-craving. You have enough. The next one is about this one is a very difficult one, but it's not so difficult. No birth and no death. And the last one about letting go. Letting go of the idea of a separate self. And letting go of a limited lifespan. The Buddha has offered contemplations called the 5 contemplations. I'm of the nature to get old. I'm of the nature to get sick. I cannot escape old age, sickness. I'm of the nature to die. I cannot escape dying. And all that I belong, I possess, I cannot keep. When I die, I cannot bring that along. My position, my possessions, it is a little bit sad, my beloved ones, what I can bring along is the fruit of my actions. That is when I die. But even now, I'm dying as well. Even now, I get old as well. Even now, there is a process of renewing in me. And even now, I cannot process anything. I think I have it, but it's not sure I have it. Because my position is made of everything. My position is not a solid, separate self-entity I can possess. My money, also, I have money, but I cannot possess money. I cannot own money. Finances crisis. Money. Right? Gold, even gold. The value of gold does not remain the same. It's very conventional. But what I can possess is the fruit of my action. If I can produce peace, understanding, compassion, patience, that is mine. I have it because it's from me. Not as a separate self-product, because all that I have, spiritual quality, is also a continuation of ancestors, of all that is. But I can rely on it. It's something I can trust. I can take refuge. I have a parapluie when it's raining. Yeah. So contemplating impermanence is very helpful to choose to make a choice in our life. And impermanence is in terms of time, like linear, and in terms of space, we call it interbeing. Yeah? For example, we are growing every moment. The trees are growing in every moment. It's impermanence. And we are growing thanks to all that is. The fresh air, the water, the food. And we enter all that is. So when we contemplate impermanence, we touch the nature of interbeing, and we touch that inside, helping us to dwell in the present moment, dwelling happily in the present moment. So the present moment here is made of what we see there on the logo of Plum Village: Smriti, Samadhi, and Prajna. It's made of mindfulness, concentration, and insight. So the present moment is not a location. The here and now is not a location, a physical location and time. It's made of spiritual energy, mindfulness, concentration, insight. And that insight we can touch by contemplation, impermanence, and interbeing. And interbeing can be understood as no birth and no death. But does it mean no birth and no death? It means there is birth and there is death, but that birth and that death is not a separate self-entity. Our birth is with our ancestors, our parents, our society, Mother Earth, all that is. So no birth here means we are born together with all that is in terms of time and in terms of space. So we manifest together with all that is, and that insight helps us to dwell happily in ourselves, in this very body and mind. We intermanifest with all that is at the same time. And no death doesn't mean we don't die. Yes, we die. But we die together in every moment, in a natural way. But that dying doesn't mean the end. It's a continuation. And birth and death support each other to make life possible. Why are we contemplating all that complicated practices? Why make it so complicated? Let's breathing in and breathing out. That's it. Easy. Breathing in, I have arrived. Breathing out, I'm home. When we breathe in and breathe out with the inside of interbeing, then the quality of our in-breath and out breath has the quality of really arrived home, solid and free. And we breathe together with our ancestors, with our beloved one, and with all that is in freedom. Yeah. And touching and living with that insight of interbeing, we can let go, free ourselves of the idea of a separate self-entity. And our life is not limited by the idea of a begin and an end. Then we are free from the struggle of survival as human beings, as species on earth. We free ourselves from the need of I have to survive, with the cost of many, many living beings. And that is the tragedy of life on earth. Not only human beings, but all beings. But luckily, there is a way out of this. Right? Our spiritual ancestors have been practicing to open up a way of living together in peace, with compassion, with relying on each other, with support and with sacrifice. And we go together. We learn how to live together. So we have enough non-craving. I am already wonderful as I am. We are full, complete. Of course, we have suffering. We do have suffering, and there is suffering on earth. And how to live with suffering. The Buddha has given the teaching on the Four Noble Truths, like Thầy Phap Ung has mentioned in his talk. And suffering can be our teacher. With the conditions that we can generate mindfulness, concentration, insight. So when we are mindful of suffering, we acknowledge suffering. We don't want to push suffering away. Even we don't wish suffering is absent. I said, I won't not send my children to a place with no suffering. Then they don't have a chance to grow. Understanding and love. So being aware of suffering is helpful for us to understand the causes of suffering. Causes of suffering. Like yesterday in the 5 mindfulness trainings, each training starts with being aware of suffering caused by, and understanding suffering as well as the causes of suffering, we have a way out. We have a path to take care for suffering. And we can generate happiness. And this path can be the 5 mindfulness training or the 14 mindfulness training of the order of interbeing. And this path can be called the Eightfold Noble Path. And here, suffering and the causes of suffering we can call the Eightfold Ignoble Path. And it's nothing wrong about Eightfold Ignoble Path. It is a chance for us to learn, to understand, and to love. It is a process of growing as human beings. And that is the insight of non-discrimination between suffering and happiness. As a practitioner, it's very helpful to accept both suffering as well as happiness. They need each other as the mud and the lotus. I had a chance to watch a documentary made by the Dutch TV group in Burma. A group of young students aspired to be model design. They were sent to Burma and to get in touch with the process of making clothes. They need to work on the field to collect the cottons. They need to work on the fabric, how to sew the cloth, and they need to live as Burmese people, to experience how it is to have a cloth made. You know, they came from the West, and you can imagine, wow, it's quite a challenge for them. And they start to generate compassion for the people who are making clothes for us, wearing every day in the West. And they cried. Teenagers who should have a chance to go to school are working in the fabric. Even when they are ill, they need to go on because there is no health insurance. And they realize, oh, in my daily life in the West, I changed my clothes quite a lot. This one looked very pretty, so a new one. oh, this one, I need to go along with the trend. A new one? Wow, they realize it costs a lot of labor to have something made like this. There is awakening in them, compassionate awakening. How many clothes do we have in our clothes shelves? How many shoes do we have? And where does it come from? Maybe we should go to a third world country and work, and we feel, and we come back, and we change our life a little bit. Shall I make an advertisement? Advertisement. Where is that? It should be somewhere. Ah. This go along with this sweater, wooden sweater. So the monks and the nuns in Plum, they received this sweater as a donation from a company, and in here we can see how it has been made. Yeah. I don't mention the name of the company because it's not appropriate. Oh, okay. Okay. The garment you hold in your hands is made from 100% organic cotton grown in India. This healthy fiber was tended by cotton farmers that use beneficial insects to eat the best. You see the eating and the dying? Yeah? Even organic. So we have compassion. Huh? That use beneficial insects to eat the pests that would consume their crops instead of toxic pesticides, or generate their own fertile compost instead of using synthetic fertilizers. After leaving the field, this cotton was colored with earth-friendly dyes, while the fabrics and the sewing was produced in Pakistani factories where the workers enjoy full benefits and excellent working conditions. It is not just a t-shirt, it is a healthy revolution in how we clothe ourselves. Wear it in peace. Enough advertisements. Back to work. Because we need to continue, right? So on one side, we generate mindfulness, concentration about suffering and the causes of suffering, the Eightfold Ignoble Path in order to understanding love and to generate, to produce happiness and compassionate path, the Eightfold Noble Path, the 5 mindfulness training. That is one side. On the other side, we can concentrate on watering, keeping this path alive, nourishing it in order to generate happiness, to heal the suffering. So it's a recycling process. It's wonderful. In Upper Hamlet, we have a sentence in the recycling area: before throwing anything away, think nothing is away. So our suffering, please don't throw it away. Yeah? Can be very helpful by practicing mindfulness, concentration, insight, in order to generate understanding, love, and to have a better path, more compassionate. It's a evolution. Besides revolution, it's also evolution. So there is no conflict between suffering and happiness. In fact, they need each other. And the same with practicing mindfulness, concentration, insight. Without suffering, we don't have this practice. Because it's raining, can we take more time for this sharing? Because I'm a total speaking slowly and explaining very, very in a very slow way. So can we afford that? Be patient. Okay, then we don't feel rushing. Thank you. The other day, Sister Langim mentioned about her practice of taking care for her anger, her suffering, and realizing that her anger has to do with her mom, her daddy, her grandmom. That insight helped her to on one way to have space for her anger, and on the other way to have compassion for her anger, for her mom, her dad, her grandmom. So there is freedom, but at the same time there is responsibility. Freedom and responsibility go together. Freedom and inclusiveness, compassion go together. And we can also use another insight to take care for our suffering, which has to do with impermanence. So this moment is not the same with the next moment. Impermanence. But the next moment is not different than the last moment. Because thanks, for example, this moment A, thanks to this A moment, then there is B moment. So the B moment is not the same as the A moment, but the B moment is not different, is not separate with the A moment, right? So this insight of impermanence, not the same, not separate, not different, help us to have freedom, to have new chance to do something, but at the same time to have responsibility, compassion. Yeah? We have compassion for the suffering. We have compassion for the struggle of our ancestors, of many beings, and we have compassion for our mistake. Thanks to our mistake, we can grow understanding and love. But we have also freedom, space to improve. So that insight of impermanence, not the same, not different, is inherent in mindfulness, concentration, insight. Breathing in, this is my in-breath, this moment. Breathing out, this is my out-breath, this moment. Breathing in, this is a new in-breath. I can generate mindfulness, joy for the next moment, to take care for my suffering and to generate happiness. So I am free. And if the suffering, for example, anger, need my attention, need my acknowledge because of the causes of my anger, then I have enough patience, I have enough space to hold it. I don't wish my anger to go as quick as possible, because my anger do have does have reasons to be there. Maybe from the suffering of my ancestors. It has been there calling for my attentions. So I have the now, I have the present moment, I have time, space, patience and freedom for my anger. I love myself. Thai said one time to a beloved student, she was encountering a lot of suffering and she was about to disrobe, to live the monastic life. And Thai said to her, I have thousands years for you. I have thousands years for you. It's not only this lifetime. I'm there for you because Thai is capable of dwelling in the here, in the now. Free, patient, compassionate. Do we have thousands years for ourselves? Are you sure? Does wife and husband have thousands years for each other? Husband is suffering a lot. And wife, I have thousands years for you. I can hold your suffering. Can we make that commitment? So as long as you need to suffer, please suffer. I'm here for you, my dear. Because I do love your suffering as well. I'm not only loving your happiness, your goodness, and so on, but I care for your suffering as well. That is true love. Not only wife and husband, family members, community members. Mother Earth is doing that every day. Countless years for us. In this retreat, somehow I got in touch with the collective energy of all of us and the spirit of practicing together, and I have been reflecting on business, on consumption, on nature, and somehow there is a glimpse in me, maybe too late, but too late better than never. I got a glimpse that Mother Earth is a living being. Before that, I heard it many times. Mother Earth is an organism, is a living being, but somehow, she is very patient. Or the whole cosmos is very patient with us. Every day a new day, completely new. And Mother Earth is also us. Our heart every day new, nourishing us, keeping us alive. Whatever. When we feel loved, we have motivation, we have energy. We would like to contribute, we would like to pay back, to give back, to support, to live our life deeply. There is a deep link between provider, producers, and the consumers. And the product. They need each other. They cannot be separate from each other. I feel, thanks to this retreat, more compassionate, more understanding toward business people. And I feel also I have influence on their life as well, as a consumers. As a consumers, what I consume had effect on their life. It's I have a choice to help them. So, economy is supposed to make our life more comfortable, more happy. And it has been functioning like that. But economy can have also a big impact on the politics, on our daily life. In in the course of struggling, surviving, of the fittest, of the most powerful, of the strongest, wars can go along with that. But the good news is economy can help us to go in the direction of mutual support and compassion. With the insight, we need each other. We can coexist. It's an awakening. The jazz is impermanence. Nothing is permanent. A flower is blooming. So with the insight of we need each other, we can coexist, we can support each other, then money, power, fame, positions can be very, very meaningful, compassionate tools and helpful way for our life. So it's up to us to choose, right? And as consumers, we can give a hand as well. Not only the producers, the business people, but we can make a collective awakening, compassionate awakening. Each of us counts. One person counts a lot. Yeah, so please wear that hoodie. Again, compassionate advertisement. It's just to make a joke. So when we consume something, we may pay attention to that, to our own capacity. It's not always cheap to buy organic products, but we are making a step. And the more we are supporting local products like that, the cheaper the price becomes. It's more available for everyone. So if we do have money, allow ourselves to support the local products. Yeah, one sound of the bell. There was a very influential, rich businessman who fell in love with Thai and the Sangha. living in Germany, in München. And he became a very compassionate businessman. With his network of friends, he collected donations and established Maitreya funds. Maitreya is loving kindness funds. To use the donations, the monies and so on, to support the work of charity, of understanding and love in Vietnam, in Africa, in India. And when he died peacefully. And his work of love and understanding continues on. He is still with us, with the Thoughtful community. And that is his heritage. That is his offering to his family, his children, grandchildren, to human beings, to give back to life. His name is, you may know, Carl Smith. Yeah. With a loving face and smile. And each of us, to our capacity, we can offer that. So with the insight of interconnectedness, interbeing between providers, consumers, product, and we can include all beings. Nature. In Vietnamese there is a sentence, ăn cây nào, rào cây đó. When we eat fruit from a fruit tree, then we need to take care for that tree. To be, how do we call it in English? Sustainable. Is it correct? Sustainable. So as a consumers, as a providers, we may produce, we may consume, but we need to take care for all that is making our life possible. Sustainable economic growth. And that sustainable economic growth goes along with understanding, compassion, and gratitude. So economic growth goes along with happiness. There is no conflict between happiness and economic growth. In fact, they support each other. Yeah? That's good news, isn't it? We don't have to make a dualistic conflict in our way of living, even as businessmen. So building community not only human community, but all beings is very, very helpful to sustain our business, our way of living, our consumption. Because we live from all that is. Water is us. Mother Earth is us. And our future generations are us. We live for them and with them. In Native American, they have the wisdom called 7 generations. So when they make a decision or when they live their daily life, they include, this is them, the circle, they include their ancestors, 7 generations, and they include their future generation, 7 generations. That's wonderful, isn't it? There's a lot of compassion and happiness. So they live sustainable. Even when they kill a deer or a bison for living, they pay respect, they pay gratitude, they honor the life of the animals, they honor what they live on. And our ancestors have been living that way as well. But somehow we forget. It's okay to forget, just to wake up and to remember. I think the rain is stopping. And as another motor, another engine, another force to sustain our business, our way of life as consumers, is the trust. The insight of we need each other, we can coexist each other, we cannot be separate from each other, help us to be truly ourselves and establish a long-lasting relationship with our colleagues, between the companies, between the departments, between the society, between life. So we have determination, we have conviction to go on this compassionate, inclusive way. Even when we need to sacrifice even when we suffer from the mistakes of others, even when we need to bear their suffering, we still have the trust, the patience that we can support each other on this compassionate way of living. Because love and compassion, patience can heal the wounds, can heal the suffering. And all of us needs understanding and love. Especially people holding a leading position, a lot of pressure. They are like the tip of the flame. They need to endure a lot of heat. You imagine young people invited from university, being trained as leaders, going in the company and follow the stream, the current of the mindset, business. Imagine young people like that. They have a lot of challenges. They have a lot on their plates. And later on, when they got high position, even more suffering. So, seeing that, we can generate compassion, patience, and support for them in order to give them also a chance to go in the direction of compassionate awakening. I imagine I'm a monk, I'm not a business monk. I have less suffering, less to endure than the business people. The war in Vietnam has been a war between capitalism and communism. It is a war of human beings. It's going on from countless generations. And now we can see everyone does need understanding and love, does need a spiritual dimension in order to generate peace, insight, and love. The capitalist, please help me. Capitalist. Capitalist, as well the communists, they do need happiness, understanding and love. So we sing a song, Please Call Me By My True Names, in English. We see ourselves in many forms of life, and in French. And we will conclude the sharing. Somebody would like to start? Yeah. With the mic. Yeah. My joy, my spring.
My joy is like spring so warm, it makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain's like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. Please call me by my true name, so I can hear all my cries and laughter at once, so I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true name, so that I can wake up and the door of my heart can be left open. The
En français. So one more advertisement, maybe you can get it in the bookshop. And Thầy Pháp Hữu or Thầy Pháp Tiên can write more. Compassionate business people heal the world. And that is maybe our mission. We can ask ourselves, am I compassionate when I think I am right? So I can be right in many ways, according to the principles, the rules, the logic, the guidelines, and so on and so on. But am I compassionate when I think I'm right? Can we give each other another chance to grow in understanding and love together? Because we need each other. We need a collective awakening, a community for all of us and for our future generations. They are there. I'm out of energy. Has been a wonderful sharing, like a football game, offering ourselves completely. Thank you for all of us being here, making this possible. Making the future possible. Thank you for your compassionate presence. Now I can sleep peacefully. Like one sister said, I went to her and appreciate her sharing. And she said, now I can sleep peacefully. Now I can cry. Wow. Thank you.